hop directly into the game here. Skip past that map intro. Sorry, I was trying to pull up those donations that we had missed during that last game. took a moment to do just that. So before we get into this one, I do want to give some big thank you to, I don't know if I already shouted this person out, but just to be safe, Raven85, $10 donation, no message. Valley Chen during that last game, $20. Whoa, really generous. Says, went all in on the last match and lost. Anyways, keep it up. I love what you guys are doing. I guess this person needs some partoofs, had to get their fix. Queen Green Tea with another $20 donation. Woo. This goes to Zombie Grub to buy a t-shirt, thrift shop, and buy a Christmas sweater and ensure quality. Rifkin has to approve it. Okay. That to Zombie Grub after the cast. We'll see how that goes. And Waffle Stomper, thank you for your sub, man. I know you went offline. You didn't get to read the message. Big love goes out for that support. But now we're in the action. We're in the thick of it. It's a best of 3 in the winner's match for the fight before Christmas. Spawning in the top right corner of the map. He's down 1 at the moment. We'll see if we can bring it back. It's my Insanity's Kane.
In the bottom position as the Blue Tsaren, it's CM Storm's Polt.
Alright, so folks want to know about the bets. We'll get over that real quick since we don't have cheesy openers here. We got a little less than 1,500 on Kane taking the series 2-0, but like 8,700 on Kane taking it 2-1. This blows my mind because the highest bet on Polt is 2-0 for him, 5,985, with a 4,086 on him taking a 2-1, and of course for whatever reason 118 both bets on Kappa because you guys suck. So yeah, again, like I'm a bit shocked that Kane had so much favoritism. I definitely believe in this guy to turn the series around of anybody to take on Polt, but still just surprised to see that he had the crowd favorites cheering him on here.
Well, yeah, he lost that first game and kind of it was actually the worst game I've ever seen. I think the counterattack was actually really, it could have been really potent. It could have been like kind of like a 1-2 punch that surprised Polt. I don't think it would have won the game, but it maybe could have evened things out if things had all gone according to plan. I mean, I'm talking like the Banelings all hitting the central part of the army and killing everything. That type of perfectness, but
the kind of perfect that doesn't really happen.
Usually not, no. Polt the type player that usually looks away for a second, but you know, it was, I guess it was like a warning. It was like, Kane, scout, and hopefully that won't happen again.
Well, Kane actually, speaking of scouting, does shut that SCV down, so it's the Reaper that's going to do the scouting after this. Polt not going for 2, not going for 3, and certainly not going for 5. Just the 1 Reaper for this game. I kind of wonder, too, like, do you think you'll fight against Moose Skills the first time around? We got to see the really cheesy side of Polt, right? Do you think that was one of those things where you're like, you're cheesing because you don't really know who you're playing, and maybe you're just like, okay, I'm probably better than them? Or do you think that was him cheesing because he just wanted to change it up and have some fun, or just play differently than what he would have not wanted Kane to have seen him play?
Yeah, I brought that up, right? Like, does he even know who Muscles is? Like, I would think...
I mean, Moose Skills isn't a bad player. That is the problem, though. Who is Moose Skills is a very real question.
Yeah, it was almost like, I would say so, but like that first game actually wasn't so bad for Moose Skills. I mean, Polt had a couple opportunities to sweat in that first game that they both played together. So that second game being 6 racks Reaper, that's a surprise. I like, that makes me see that it was almost like purely for fun, but he seems to be taking Kane a little more seriously. At least Overlord will go down, but at least get good scouting. Not really, no.
No, and the problem is that Overlord too, I mean, you don't expect the 2 Marines. It happens from time to time, but most commonly you're expecting your Overlord to get some free scouting here in the early game, so it doesn't really work out for him. He's not going to see that as Hellion Banshee. Might have an educated guess because it's a very standard thing to do, and Polt's a fairly standard player, but Hellion Banshee has proven itself to be quite strong, especially recently, and I love it because these units haven't been really touched in a long time, right? There was no patch, terror, and buff for Banshees and Hellions that made them super OP. Folks just really good at controlling them, and Zerg players forgetting how to deal with them.
2-base lair for Kane. Interesting. It's going to work out well against Polt, but Polt's been doing such weird builds. And Kane's been watching that, like... I'm surprised Kane goes with this one. You know, it's the end of it.
It is borderline risky with context of what happened in the last series, but I think what Kane does is he takes the read from that first game rather than the read from the series played out versus Moose Skills.
Yeah. Even still, that just says that Polt has the ability to do barracks-oriented attacks. So not the Hellbent attacks, not the Banshee attacks that are actually not effective against 2-base Muta, but things that include actually like a lot of Marines, which can be effective against 2-base Muta. But either way, it's actually going to pair up really nicely. He's probably really happy to see the Banshee pop out, Cloak on the way as well. It's not going to do hopefully that much damage. You got to watch out for that wall at the front, but Kane bothered to get an Evo chamber, so it's pretty much walled off. I don't think the Hell should get in there.
Kane also forced to spend another 100 minerals there on another Overlord to get a bit supply blocked. I mean, the Spine Collar is nice to have for safety's sake. Again, you don't really know what's coming, but this giant gap is a bit disconcerting, considering he's going to have to go to the main with the Queens and deal with this Banshee.
Yeah, of course he scouted it, so he's a Spore Crawler. But, you can always find just a couple of gaps.
I mean, the sad reality is, like, one Queen's not going to take out that Banshee. She has to have, like, a shot go off from the Sport Crawler, something else, 2 Queens even, but, yeah, 1 Banshee with Cloak should be able to wreck a good chunk of Queens. But actually, Polt, I take this back, not with Cloak. Wait, I'm crazy. Yeah, he didn't go for Cloak, okay.
He was researching, and he must have canceled it when it was scouted.
Yeah. Alright, so, with Needles, did he see the Spire? Where did the Spire go down?
Well, he saw the lair timing, and he saw the lack of a third, and he saw an Overwatch one at the front. All signs lead to 2-base Muta.
Common situation where lack of information is all the information you need.
Pretty much. And the thing is that 2-base Muta versus Bio is never really all that scary. There are very rare circumstances where you actually do start the whole, I killed your first 6 Marines, and now I'm never going to get missile turrets up. Most players don't really fall into that trap. If anything, the game just like goes into a macro game, and you deny them the ability to have that really fast 2-base medevac drop, or two medevac drop, 2-base, 2 medevac drop, which Polt does do on this map specifically. Again, we could talk about like maybe not taking that move skill game into account, but what did Polt do in that game on this map? Immediately went for a bunch of drops. Yeah.
And he, well, I also want to bring up the Widow Mines, but that's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah.
I don't think Kane will probably get caught off guard by that move, but still, though, with the Mutalisks coming out, it is going to be a little bit more difficult for Polt. You don't have that straight shot and that free fire into the drop period. I mean, the reason drops work out really well versus Roach Hydra, they're slow to respond. They usually don't have this mobility to scout. Not the same way Mutas do. So intercepting the medevacs is certainly a possibility, and Polt does have to be careful. It doesn't give any away for free if he does go for drops. But still, we'll see if he actually goes for the drops or not.
He's playing very standard. This is the Polt that we're supposed to be seeing, right? Where it's just like, he might try the 2 medevac drop, but, you know, seeing the Mutas, now he won't. Now he'll just play very standard. He has everything timed up pretty nicely. I guess the armory is like 10 seconds late. Be overly critical.
Ooh.
Who knew?
Well, SV gets picked off there. He does have the upgrade lead for now. He hasn't started his 2-2 just yet because, as you pointed out, the armory is a little bit late, but it's not exactly like Kane's going to accelerate upgrades off of this.
No.
Glaveworm's killing a couple SCVs here too. Takes out the refinery, not too bad.
No, not bad at all. Polt does have enough gas though that you can add the 2-2 plus another factory. No problem.
Well, once those combat shields finish, we'll give him a little bit more leeway to be, I'd say, a bit more aggressive on the map. Of course, it's always scary to push, even off of creep, because without that combat shields, you just can't take the Baneling hits, and you have to assume there's Banelings. If you've shown that you're playing Bio and not playing Mech, you're guaranteed your opponent's not dumb enough to not go Banelings, basically.
Yeah. Polt does start the soft push out, I guess, takes the Zonaga. Does let up 1 medevac. A little risky, but it is 1 medevac, so this should just be to pull something out of position, whether it is the Mutas or a couple of Lings as well. Oh, lucky for Kane here. Kane.
There we go. Not even a single Marine unloaded. Not too shabby for him. By the way, big shout and thank you to QXC for hosting the stream. That's pretty rad. And hello to all QXC's viewers. Hope you guys enjoy the show. But as Kane ducks back here towards the natural base, he again takes out another refinery. This turret gets dived. Doesn't put up the damage for it. Has to back away. But Polt's pushing, cleaning up creep. He's got a couple of Hellbats here, so the Lings can't quite just swamp this Marine force. And of course, in a worst case scenario, he's got a couple of Wood Mines and Medevacs to run away with. But ooh, this 4th out of Kane, quite ballsy, I must say. Although I suppose it's probably less frustrating than dealing with the little low ground wall issue that comes with this 4th.
Exactly. Kind of pretty bad positions for that. Whoa!
Ooh, some nasty shots go off, but it does clear the way for the Zerglings to come in. Bailey's rolling in underneath us. Can they connect to the Marines? Trying to get through that crunchy center. All right, he's gonna fall away from this. Again, the last couple of ones getting cleaned up, but those got some amazing shots to really spook the Mutalisks.
Yeah, I don't know what Kane is doing there, but Polt, he's checking for the fourth. I think soon he'll realize that the other fourth was taken, the less common one, I guess. But you know, his 2-2's on the way. It's just it's pretty ahead of Kane's, and he's also getting up to that Thor, which really adds the stability of a push Terran player.
What do you think about his bunker placement?
I know. I didn't want to comment on it because like overly critical and whatever, but like why
It does seem a little bit odd. I mean, at least he covers his supply depot, or the supply depots, so he doesn't get bailing run by. It tends to happen a lot with third bases if you're Terran. But yeah, with the Thors coming out, it's really hard to get that awesome splash hit that just takes out the core of the Mutas and obliterates them. But what it does do, oh, does he just miss that? No, he said okay. What it does do, of course, is have a lot more range than the Marines, so it gives you a little bit more area to work around. But Medevac picked off yet again. Kane really on top of picking off these drops.
Yeah. Polt's playing like so Polt right now. I mean, he's getting like the kind of quick fourth, you know, where other Terran players might stay on 3 base for as long as possible, being very patient. You know, Kane, his creep spread, it could be better, but there's actually been no opportunity for him to like swamp the Terran and advance it. Polt has been very just like, I'm gonna stay out here and stop it from advancing.
This is a pretty big run by. It's gonna get that Thor. What am I? Oh, split! Everybody party, run! It's the police. He gets the Thor. I think it was definitely worth that Ling run by, but in the middle of the map starts to try and take an engagement with the Mutalisk. And again, there's Marines, there's what am I? He's got to be careful about this. Oh,
Queen, you have so much energy. Why?
This game goes down. As far as upgrades go, though, Kane's 2-2 is coming in pretty late, considering Pult's like, no, hold up. Talk about that in a second. Big explosions go off in the middle. Widowmines and Bailey's both colliding. And a good check of this thing. Awkward Queen is awkward, but Kane keeps the Mutalisks alive. Low, but alive. And of course, with that region, they'll come in pretty quickly. A lot more Bailey's being morphed in right now. 23 to be precise. And Polt's not exactly doing that rally that we're so used to seeing. He's actually constantly going out in clumps. Reinforcement line's not quite established. So if Kane can clean up this first push, he'll probably have a bit of breathing room to deal with the follow-up.
It's pretty bad that he lost those 2 creep Tumor Queens. He wasn't really able to push back Polt that much anyways, but you know, the ideal situation is that you push them back just like halfway across the map, and then you can spread that creep again. As it is, Kane's stuck where he's always been. Just the creeper's gonna stop there. Good me to counterattack. No missile turrets there to help out. A lot of production, but just like awkwardly timed.
There was one past tense. Yeah, go for the barracks is perhaps a bit of a mistake. Realizing goes for the command center instead. That's gonna suck. There's a lot of energy in that orbital too. There's like 3 mules in that baby.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, that's a lot of what it was. That was oh my gosh, what was that? Innovation in True or someone in the Star League. I saw that GIF this morning. I think Fenner posted of all the Mutalisks just dying to one of those shots. It was pretty sick. Maybe Tasia? I don't remember. Oh my god.
Oh, it was like the rematch for SSL.
Yeah.
Yeah, Curious versus Tasia, I think.
Either way, it was disgusting. It was disgusting and awesome.
Yeah, True versus Innovation was the Baneling one, actually. Get your GIFs right.
Sorry. My GIFs? you get your pronunciation right. I'll get my GIFs right later. GIFs right, whatever. 25 Mutalisks still floating around the middle of the map, and they've got to be so careful. Clumped up like this, that Thor shot already does a lot of damage. Bailey's take out the Widowmines though before they even get a chance to burrow. Kane though at the same time go for counterattacks at both the third as well as the natural. Polt's depots are down and a little bit awkward. He might lose his 4th, but if he can gut Polt's bases, I mean he's well, I guess that's a 4th, sorry, not a 3rd. He's gonna lose a lot more, I think, because his production will get camped. Yeah,
this is great counterattacks from Kane. Would really like to see him take another base. I know that it's not very useful with the ones like to the side of his main. Risky, but like now, like, you know, if it was King Sejong, he would have another expansion, and he threw it up. Trying to stem through and catch those mutas. Couldn't quite do it. Those Widowmines, by the way, I was surprised those didn't trigger on top of the SCVs at some point. These ones might, though. Oh, okay, never mind. Kane's gonna back off of this. Still, though, he killed 28 SCVs on this. He's gonna kill that 4th command center, flying in the air, dying in the air. Denied a lot of mining as there's a lot of shuffling of the SCVs back and forth. So, like, what little SCVs were alive definitely were not mining. And Polt's got a lot of mules. He'll be able to help make this up. But I think one of the big things was he lost a lot of supply depots. Look at that supply block. He lost those 2 command centers. He was on 5, so replenishing them wasn't that big of a deal. And of course, this game, of course. But now, like, a lot of his units are just like everywhere. Maybe he'll get another. I can't believe it. Like, repair. You have SCVs right there.
Dropping
Right.
supply because he absolutely had to. It kind of sucks for Kane. Bleeds off 3 meters to just barely not kill that orbital. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, Polt's still looking to push, and Kane, well, where's his Baneling count at? Sitting on 60?
Well, I don't know,
That's
Polt.
not too bad. That's really
Dude,
not too
Polt.
bad.
I don't know about it. You know, Kane also got the cruiser to finally go out a little bit further too. Polt, so risky to run up there. I don't even know what he was thinking he was gonna do. Like there wasn't even Banelings weren't actually used in any of those attacks, right? So it's not
Yeah,
like
it's
you
laying
caught them when they're
run-bys.
still morphing 40
Yeah.
Banelings.
Oh,
No, he's
oh,
had
hold on,
Banelings
hold
the
on.
entire time.
Oh, Kane, I don't know if he saw the Widowmize or if he just got lucky. Either way, running for his life right now with those Mutalisks. I mean, I'm kind of looking at the Hyun level Baneling planet cracker explosions that are going to go off over here, but these Mutalisks are still very important.
Polt's starting to bank a lot of money again, though. I mean, he would have loved to be able to have the missile turret like with 5 bases, but I think the missile turret like ring is still something you need. Oh god, look what's gonna happen. Well, that's a lot of Marines, though. Hey,
It's a lot of Marines, but again, it's such a precious amount of economy that Polt just really doesn't have. There's almost no money in the main. There's no gas income at all. Natural base has been completely shut down, and the third base is essentially like 1 base mining for Polt.
Yeah. 3-3 did finish up for him, but behind
good.
everything, Kane has gotten up to an Ultras cavern, and his own 3-3 is on the way.
Taking a
Polt is,
Mutalist
though,
fight. Oh no.
you know, he's gotten to the command center. I mean, all that damage, but I guess he was on so many command centers that he's kind of equalizing and still continuing on a very patient game.
I'm like waiting for Kane to wrap around here. He segmented a lot of Banelings off to that side. You know, he's going to be trading out 4, 5, 7 at a time. He just kind of slowly throws these in. But as he comes into the middle of the map, he so completely swamps that. Beatles should be able to pick off this medevac, maybe? Is barely getting away with that boost. But middle of the map, coming in for the backside, there's so many Widowmines spread. The Marines are all out of
Awkward
position for
Banelings
this.
are upward. What are you doing?
He was expecting the Marines to be with us, not sitting in the back, so...
This
drop-
is the 4th again.
Well, drop gets cleaned up, though. You know, I was talking about Polt's 1 base economy. It's kind of the same case for Kane here.
Yeah, it has to go, like, there's no really good place to take a 4th, much less a 5th on merry-go-round. So, yeah, different map. Kane would definitely have at least, like, maybe 2 more bases he could fall back on.
I like the Ultralisks coming out finally. There's really not that many Marauders. The Thors are certainly a lot of damage, but I think with this many Banelings, if the Ultras just soak the Widowmite hits more than anything else, I think that Kane's going to be able to roll through and smash Polt's army. I mean, he's down in army supply, but never underestimate the power of 70 Banelings. Well, unless 8 of them died at that, but...
Well, 3-3 is about to finish, as well as plating for those Ultras, so he's definitely got to wait for that. He is double expanding. Again, this base he's taken right here, it's dangerous, but he has so far had control over this part of the map, so I think he'll be okay with it. As long as this fight coming up here isn't, you know, disastrous. Well, actually, Polt just leaves.
It's Kane, yeah, he's going to see this. That's a free base, is what that is. That's really hurts too, because he's starting to run out of extra command centers. You know, he had those a ton out earlier, but still building more. Looking for the engagement here in the north, right outside Kane's base.
He's lost control, so that base has to be canceled. Lost Crypt Shred as well.
Not a lot of transfuse available here, but baiting into the fight. I don't know if this was an on-purpose move or if he got baited through the attack. Either way, he's going to go for it. Banelig's crashing in for the south side. Sorry, from the north side. We got Mutalisks coming in from the south side. Going to catch the Marines in the back. He's going to completely wipe Polt's army. But is that enough to counter and win?
Oh, look at the supplies!
Wow. Down, down quite a bit, to say the least. The Mutalisks are going to pick up those medevacs, and on the other side, Polt's just got a small handful of Marines left.
Oh. I never noticed he was down to 25 SCVs. That should have been a given how many counterattacks went down, but I assume since he was building so many command centers, it was because he had SCVs to use said command centers.
That may be the same case for him, quite frankly, but last few mineral patches are starting to mine out here at the 3rd. He's got a lot, he's got quite a few over here, but I mean, Kane's Ultralisks, there's no Marauders to stop this. There's not enough kiting in the world for Marines that's ever going to deal with their little pea shooters through that thick chitinous plating.
Oh, Kane can just roll over, and I don't think he knows it quite yet.
Well, can you blame him? You don't want to throw a game against somebody like Polt. I mean, it's the winner's match, and his life's not on the line yet, but still, safe than sorry in game number 2. Looking to tie the series up, though, getting very close to it. Baneling's connection to the last few Marines. We see medevac guts going everywhere. Good game. Kane will take back this series. All right.